Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Singular Sensation first annual Dora pre-show virtual red carpet special. It's the longest title of a show I have ever done and made up in my life, but what an event worth a long title. We are so excited to celebrate some of the nominees from some of the musical theater categories tonight. Friends of the show, new friends of the show, returning friends of the show. We're very excited. We do want to acknowledge that the guests on our show tonight do not fully represent the beautiful, rich, diverse tapestry that is our theater community in Toronto and in Canada. And we as Singular do commit to celebrating and amplifying voices of Black, Indigenous, people of color, and queer artists in our city, in our country, and internationally, because we're on the internet now. So the world is literally our website, live stream, broadcast. But we do appreciate the artists that are joining us tonight before the show. And we celebrate and cheer on all of the nominees tonight. And so if you're watching, show love in the comments for our nominees here tonight. We want to show them some love and some support. We can't gather together, but we can all celebrate together in this forum. So thank you for joining us. What we're going to do tonight is something very exciting. The Doras have a hashtag Dora's 2020 outfit, and we are joined by our very own fashion correspondent, which is a word I had to learn how to spell all by myself. Ladies and gentlemen, Avery Jean Brennan. Yeah.
Hey, and look at you. You even pronounced it correctly. This is great.
We're on a roll. We're doing our best, you know. Thank you so much for being part of our show tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and talk about fashion.
I mean, listen, if anyone knows an aesthetic, it is you, my friend.
Is it? Is it this? Is it?
It's all that. It's all that and a bag of chips and a box of wine.
That's great. I'll be eating a whole bag of Doritos after this. So
oh my gosh, don't even tempt me. That's all I'm gonna think about now. So we are pumping up the hashtag Dora's 2020 outfit. And this can be anything. This is a whole new world. So anything goes.
Yeah, we will accept joke outfits. In fact, we encourage them, frankly.
I mean, that's my me at the best of times, really. Some people are putting on pants for the first time since March. I mean, that is something to celebrate.
I will admit I have not done that. This is just a really nice top, and then I'm wearing some summer shorts underneath. But
hey, listen, it's working it for the media. For the medium, I guess. So what are we looking for tonight? We want fashion in all forms.
We want red carpet. We want something that says that you're a star, something exciting, and something that makes me laugh is always good too. But if I'm not laughing, I want to be just blown away by the look. And I've already found a few on this hashtag that people have been going. First, I want to shout out. He's the choreographer for Obia Opera, nominated for Outstanding Choreography. And it's Anthony Prime Guerra. This navy suit, which I love navy. I hate a black suit, but I love a navy one. And then he's got this neck stuff going on in his neck that I love.
Ooh, would you call it a cravat?
A cravat, and then this pop of red here in the pocket square. Also, yes, everyone, I am just lifting my phone up to the camera. This is a very grassroots organization. If you want more production value in this show, give us money. SingularSensation.com/donate. Doesn't exist.
What else you got? Who else is posting?
Speaking of money, this look just looks expensive, and I don't even know if it actually is, but just the way that it's worn and the way that it's styled, it just says money on the red carpet. The other thing that I appreciate about this look that I'm going to show you is, although we do not have a physical red carpet, that does not mean that you don't have to dress as one. And so I would like to present Charlotte Moore.
Oh, the day.
Look at this.
So,
look, these shoes.
My God.
She's got this sparkly red top and the sun. What also I really appreciate is the sunglasses indoors, which is something that I have done for an awards show as well.
I considered it.
It's great. No one actually recognizes you until you take them off and get up, and then everyone's
I know it.
And then one more. Scott White has posted a photo of these two. I don't know what these animals are, but they look great.
Oh, there's a whole saga. If you don't follow Scott White on Facebook, you need to, because the adventures of these two furry little friends have been something to follow during this.
Oh my gosh! Well, they're so sweet, and they are also ready. I hope that the two of them win tonight. These little furry things.
Well, listen, we're sending all our love to all the people who wore pants, didn't wear pants, who were nominated and not nominated.
Exactly. This is the very first ever Pants Optional Dora Awards, so take advantage.
And maybe it's something that we'll take with us moving forward.
We can only hope. We can only hope.
Well, listen, Avery Jean, I'm so thrilled that you're joining us here tonight. We're going to check in a bit with you later on in the show, so be sure that you post your outfit. Dora's 2020 outfit right there.
I don't know how this camera works. There it is.
There it is. It's all.
Got it. We got it.
All opposite.
Grassroots organization. Give us money.
Okay, I adore you. We'll check in with you in a bit.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, you guys, our first guests are nominated for the show from the Young People's Theater. They always come through and take the Doras by storm, and this year is no different. Their production of The Adventures of Pinocchio is nominated for several awards, including Outstanding Production, Outstanding Direction, Original Choreography, Design, Performance in a Leading Role, and Performance in a Featured Role, which our first two guests are both nominated for, and I'm so thrilled to be joined by both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Arinia Hermans and Joel Cumber. Hi, friends.
Hi.
It's so good to see you both.
It's good to see you too.
All right, I'm just going to take Joel. Oh, you got to unmute your mic.
Oh, Joel's
There you are.
Happy Dora Day!
Happy Dora Day, you guys, and congratulations on your nominations for Outstanding Performance in a Featured Role for Pinocchio at YPT. And you guys you were in the show together, and you are friends, and you've worked together more than once. This is not your first rodeo. So
this is not our first rodeo. No, we have played opposite each other before. We did Rumspringa a Break at the Next Stage Festival together, where we had a ball, and yeah, I love when I get to work with Arinia. It's the best. It's the best.
I second that. Ditto.
Yeah.
So what is it? Is this your first Dora nomination for both of you? Your
first Dora nomination, but
not your first, lady.
YPT appears to be, a bit of a lucky charm for me. I was nominated for Gertrude McFuzz when I did Musical, and then I have an ensemble nom for Hogtown as well.
Girl, well, listen, I cheers to both of you. And nominations. Joel, you're first. Marie, not your first. Arinia, not your first. I'm looking at my script. You guys, this is off the rails already. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is non-alcoholic too. This is where we're going. So, guys, tell me, what does it mean to be recognized for your work with these Dora nominations?
Well, first off, I think something that excited me the most when I found out I was nominated was that I was nominated with Arinia, which was like, as if it couldn't get any cooler. I'm nominated alongside one of my best friends. We did that show together. I very much feel like those us two in that show, we were a team, and it was just so special personally for me. So I felt that. Arinia, do you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, you stole my answer a bit. I think the most exciting thing was, because I wasn't watching the broadcast, so I had people texting me congrats, and I immediately was like, oh, well, I need to know if Joel was nominated, just because we were such a team. Our characters really were a team. And then when I heard he was nominated, I was like, I know it sounds so cliche, but just so happy for him, because it's his first Dora nom. I don't know. I love him so much. So I think that was the most exciting aspect of it for me, was alongside him, and alongside also I was in Obia Opera as well. So 2 is in our category, and she played the elder in Obia Opera, and she was mind blowing. I mean, Joel saw it. And just other friends like Vanessa, Charlotte, it was just such a friend-filled category that I was like, it's so celebratory when it's such a tight-knit community, I guess.
Totally. And and also just like the show getting nominated for a bunch of things. And I feel like I can speak for both of us when we say that show was so special and the experience for everyone involved was so special. So it was just like flooding with memories from that show. And also in this time, seeing all the amazing companies get recognized, like independent theater companies, opera, dance, young theater for youth, everything. Like that morning, I feel like a lot of us were like, oh my God, it was an amazing reminder of how expansive our industry is and how much is done in our city. And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
And a good reminder.
And is there anything that you would like to say to anyone you want to shout out? Anyone that you worked with or who is watching? I know we can't be together, and there's so many hugs that happen and so much love that happens waiting in that food truck line at the Doras.
Yes.
You know? Now we can just serve our own hot dogs in our living rooms with pajama pants. But
Literally.
is there anything you guys like to say? Yes.
Shoes.
Yeah. I mean, listen, that whole show was just like the most joyous experience of my entire life. And so, yeah, the whole team, but in particular, in terms of our performances, I'd love to shout out Sheila McCarthy, our director, Julie Tomeno, and Lindsay Britton, who were our choreographer and associate choreographer, and Sierra Holder, who was our dance captain, who kept us in line, because that's a long run at YPT.
And there were some things and people had to go in for people and there were some wild things that happened. So just like a huge thank you to everyone involved with the show, because it was such an amazing team to be a part of. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, you two, congratulations on your nomination. Wishing you all the best, all the broken legs, all the fuzzy slippers, and sending you much, much love. Thank you for being here tonight. Enjoy your night.
Thanks so much. And thank you for doing this.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Love you both.
Bye.
I love you. Bye.
Animal slippers. And guys, I got a confession. I have a big, deep confession. It's my first Dora Awards. Not wearing any shoes at all. And if you know me, you know that shoes are my thing. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of getting used to this. Now, our next guest tonight, I am so, so thrilled to welcome her. She is nominated for Outstanding Direction in the Musical Theater Division for Ghost Quartet, which is also nominated for Outstanding Production, Outstanding Musical Direction, Achievement in Design for Light and Scenic Design, and Outstanding Performance in a Leading Role for Ms. Haley Gillis. And I've had the honor and privilege of working with her myself, and I'm so thrilled to welcome her to Singular Sensation. Please welcome Marie Farsi. Woo-hoo-hoo. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. You look gorgeous. You look all sun-kissed and glowy. And
yeah, I definitely have a glitter theme here.
Listen, whatever you're doing is working for you, girl. So congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you so much.
And how was the experience working on Ghost Quartet? It was such, I had the opportunity to see it, and it was such an emotional, moving, kind of deep divey piece. Tell us about your experience heading that whole journey.
Yeah. I would say intense. We only had 2 weeks and a half to get the show ready. So I had to be really prepared. So it took me about 6 months of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who saw the show, it's multiple storylines intertwined. For most of the show, you don't know what's happening. So I'm hoping to bring clarity to the story without, killing the mystery, because that's part of the experience ultimately. So I had to understand the story and give that to the actress, because they had very little time to do that. The music was very complex. So we had to allocate quite a bit of time to do that. And then essentially I gave them the staging and made a little bit of room for discovery, but it was basically all in my head, and had to give them the show, in 2 weeks.
It's absolutely incredible, and it speaks to your leadership and musicianship as a director to have created such a supportive and nurturing space for your company. And speaking of the company, let's give a shout out to the performers that brought this work to life with you.
Yes. Haley Gillis, Kira Galoin, Bo Dixon, and Andrew Penner. Andrew was also the musical director, and they are incredible performers, incredible storytellers, singers, musicians, and beings.
So wonderful. And how are you keeping busy these days? I feel like you are still as busy as ever working on all of the things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I am someone who has to be creative, so I'm making a little short movie. So I'm doing stop motion right now at home because I can't work with actors. So actors. I listen to a lot of music. I read a ton, and I'm developing a number of shows as well. So when we come back, I have something to offer.
That's amazing. I love that. Just putting the work out, and we will come back, and it may look one of any number of ways, but you will be leading that charge as you always are with the work that you do and what you create. And you're so brilliant. And I'm so thrilled that you said yes to being part of this tonight. And cheers to you.
Yes.
And the company on your multiple nominations tonight. We'll be cheering you on, and blink. There we go. There we are. Marie Farsi, thank you so much. Right, and we're cheering you on, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Jenny.
My pleasure. We'll talk to you real soon.
Yes.
Bye. And guys, I'm like, times are crazy, but some people are still, we're managing to find ways. We're finding our way. We are resilient and strong, and we fight for each other and not against each other. And it's been really beautiful to watch our community come together. I'm going to bring our fashion correspondent back on just to see how we're doing with the hashtag Dora's 2020 outfit. Avery Jean.
Okay, I'm back. So last time I talked a lot of kind of glamorous looks, some very staple, something you wouldn't expect to see. I recently saw there's a few very just fashion forward ones.
Ooh, I'm gonna put it over to your show.
All right. So some of these looks here, I'm just gonna show you. First of all, Adrian Shepard-Gowinski, nominated for sound design. Take a look at this. This little jumpsuit moment. It's belted. It's got a zipper going on. We've got some mesh going. I love it so much. And the hair. Oh, actually, you can't really see it very well. Anyway, listen. I really appreciate men who do style their hair for awards shows because a lot of the times, women like myself, we spend a lot of time on our hair. I mean, I didn't tonight. All that I did was brush it and then put headphones on. But typically, they just kind of forget about that part of their outfit. But what I really appreciate in Adrian is just he really remembered this, really
so good. Look at that.
Oh, I know. Look at this. Oh, you're back.
And Adrian is nominated tonight.
Adrian's nominated for outstanding sound design for. I don't remember what show, which is bad because we're friends.
Cheering him on, and we're wishing him all the best in his fabulous outfit. And and we're gonna bring on our next guest. But I'm so glad we got to share that outfit because woof,
it's so good, so good.
All right, we're gonna check in with you in a bit.
I'll see you again soon.
All right, our next nominee is nominated for Outstanding Performance in a Featured Role in the Musical Theater Division for his performance in the Musical Stage Company's production of Reprint. And you may have seen him rocking in the Ross Petty Panto. Just a little up-and-coming star who I like to call Michael DeRose. Hi, friend.
Hey!
How are you?
Hey, girl, how are you? I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, good. Cheers to you. Congratulations on your nomination.
Wait, I don't have a drink yet.
I'll share mine. Here, open your mouth.
Like Soda Stream. Here we go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Hydrating there you go.
Hey, babe,
So congratulations. What a season that you've had. I got to tell you, I mean, I know we're talking about the Doras and the nominations, but you in the Ross Petty Panto. Oh, my gosh, Rose, I was losing my mind. You are hilarious.
Bless. It's a gift. It's a real gift, that sugar bum, to get to step into her big old shoes. It's a real gift.
Well, for us too, honey. For us too. So you are
Good.
you're nominated for reprint with Musical Stage. Can you tell us a bit about what the piece is for those who didn't have a chance to see it?
Well, reprint actually is it's been a project that started as a Launchpad with Musical Stage Company. It was basically to foster young, well, not up-and-coming lyricists, composers, book writers. So it was meant to foster that kind of work, and the culmination was reprint in the end. So we had 3 different pieces, each were about 30 minutes each, and 3 different tones, and just 3 different musicals that got up and off the ground. So I feel a bit strange that I'm getting attention tonight for it, because literally the whole purpose was supposed to highlight the writers, and I'm like, oh sure, I think I screwed something up, but I'll take it. Well,
imposter syndrome is real, but how about we turn this into an opportunity for you to shout out those writers and creators and company members that did reprint with you?
I would love nothing more. So we had a show called Fangirl, which was written by Annika Johnson, Barbara Johnston, and Nick Green. It was directed by Tracy Fly. And the whole thing was done by 4 actors. So it was myself, Kaylee Harwood, Kelsey Verzotti, and Brandon Antonio. So that was Fangirl. I said Tracy, right? Tracy.
Yes,
correct.
you did. So Fly, Tracy Fly.
Then, yes, there you go. And then our next show was What Goes Up. It was written by Ellen Denny. And it was the book and the music was written by Akiva and Colleen.
Yes.
And it was directed by Leslie Wade and music directed by Shelley Hansen. Our first one was music directed by Adam Sakiyama, who I think is up for an award tonight too.
He is. He's up for musical direction.
Yeah, exactly. And then the third show was called Cygnus. It was written by Stephen Gallagher and Anton Lipovetsky, directed by Ann Hodges, music directed by Wayne Gwillim, and it was that was extraordinary to work on. It was just a piece about what it means to be sort of lonely and gay in the city at the turn of the century, at the blackout, when we all experienced the blackout in Toronto.
Oh, that's right.
And sort of what happens in the middle of that night when the lights go out and you got to find yourself. So it was an incredible process, and that actually is getting more life at CanStage in April when theater comes back.
Yes, and it will, it will. So that's 3 very different shows in one presentation, which is such a musical stage company thing to do, to offer such a diverse offering in a single season, not just a single season, but a single run.
Single ride for that audience. They were just like bam, bam, bam into 3 pieces. So it was a challenge in that sense, because as actors, like there's no prep time, right? You're just like literally moving from one story right to the next. So your intentions had to be really clear. It was a real technical challenge and awesome.
Yeah. So what were you, if I may ask, what were you working on when all of this craziness happened and we're all at the doors in our slipper feet?
Well, I had 2 things going on. I was doing a workshop with Pollyanna for Stephen Gallagher again. That was awesome, but we literally went up to the Wednesday, and then the Thursday, Friday was when I think everything started to really hit. So I did that. Then I was in a high school that I work for on the Thursday, Friday when stuff really started to go down. And they were telling kids to clear out their lockers and stuff like that. It was wild. Yeah. But yeah, I hope Pollyanna gets life. I hope there's more life for it, because it really interrupted it right as we had like workshopping act 2. It was ready to go. So,
well, to see company, and to see the team that was behind that, it's not the end. It's absolutely not the end.
I don't think. No.
So how are you finding joy these days then?
Joy. You know what? There is joy. There's been, like, I'm with my partner has been incredible, I'll say. Like, the fact that we're, because for actors, we all are on the road so much, and we're all, we're either leaving or going or, whatever. Yeah. Right? It's always some version of it. So getting to hang with him has been awesome. Yeah. Without an end date. And like being able to connect with family in a different way. Like, I find that there's been a different way of connecting with people and having to like check in and really be on it. So that's been joyful, even amidst all the panic and all the anxiety that we're all I'm sure, enduring. It's nice to have the touchstones.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you've been saying, you know, actors are used to everything being thrown up in the air, and theater has been a dying art for hundreds and thousands of years, but we refuse to put that last nail in. So we gotta stick it, you know?
You know what? This isn't the first plague that theater will survive.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened before. It will happen again.
And we'll still
And
be
we'll be waiting. Yep.
We're that stubborn. Well, Michael DeRose, yeah, oh my gosh. Listen, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your beautiful bright light with us tonight. And we congratulate you on your nomination, which is well deserved.
Thank you.
I know you'll represent that company that you spoke so highly of and that you're part of. And we wish you all the best and hope to see you real soon.
Thanks, Jenny. Thanks for doing this tonight.
My pleasure.
Awesome.
My pleasure. We'll talk to you soon.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Guys, this is fun. I'm not going to lie. And thank you all so much for joining. Don't forget, you can tag hashtag Dora's 2020. And we've also got Dora's 2020 speeches. The Doras this year are an hour long. They're only an hour long. That's how much time it takes to walk through the Winter Garden Theater. It's an hour for the show and 2 hours to get to the stage. I don't know. I'm just kidding. The Doors are watching. We love you so much. We may be joined by some of the organizers later. I don't know. A little birdie told me. They're like, what am I talking about? A little birdie. I run this show. I would know. But who knows? Anything could happen. Speaking of anything, fashion correspondent, can we chat with you and see what you're seeing? See what you're seeing? Yeah. All right.
Yes.
How are things going on the fashion front?
Listen, they are going and they are growing, because right now I need to show you Miss Fatuma Adar, the marketing coordinator for Theater Pass Marai, growing in her garden there. She's got her little flower crown. She's got the little flower outfit. Fatuma's a very dear friend of mine as well, and one of the finest musical theater writers in Canada at the moment, I think. And just look at this like joy, and I love a photo with a set, you know.
Honestly, like and she obviously is not an allergy sufferer, because there is no fear in that gaze, and I just hope she's not planning to go to Midsummer when the doors are over.
Oh yeah, you sure already missed that show, I guess.
Yeah,
I just
not Midsummer. Just so everyone, it's a terrible, terrible movie.
Listen, I don't.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh,
No,
see, I don't.
Actually, that's a really great segue. Actually, you brilliant being, because we're going to be joined by one of the artistic nominees from A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is a very different sort of
different
summer with an E, not an O. But guys, keep those photos coming. Hashtag Dora's 2020 outfit, because we want to toot, not boot those looks, because this is a safe, inclusive, supportive space. So if you have to post, we support you.
I mean, everything so far has been a toot, so like keep them coming.
Yay! Okay, Avery Jean, we will see you in a bit.
Talk to you soon.
Bye. So, could not have thought of a better segue for our next nominee. And this segment is brought to you by Heart House Theater, our summer sponsor. We are so thrilled to partner with Heart House Theater, and our nominee guest, who we will be joined by next, is no stranger to this organization. He has designed numerous shows for Heart House, as well as theaters across the country. And I had the honor of working with him on my two directing efforts, Heathers and the Rocky Horror Show at Heart House. And this year, his design won a sponsor. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on my words because I'm terrified. Not of Brandon, but I'm doing exactly this. Subscribers Award. The subscribers at Heart House Theater, they vote at the end of every season of their favorite work, and this fellow's work was part of it, and he is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and everyone else, please welcome Brandon Kleiman. Hi, friend.
Hello. This is
so
amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you. Look at that.
Nice to see you too.
I am obsessed with that mane of yours.
Yes, this is my COVID look. Very glamorous.
So you are nominated this year for Outstanding Costume Design for Theater Rusticals, A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes.
Yes, and this is not your first nomination. You are amazing.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. And like I feel so lucky that I've been able to work with you, and soon you're just gonna be too big for me to even ask. But we're so happy to have
No
you.
such thing.
I love you. You're here representing our Heart House sponsored segment. You have a lot of work with them, and now you're recognized for a lot of work you're doing in other places. So tell us a bit about the experience working on Midsummer Night's Dream.
Well, this is my second Theater Rustical show, which is a kind of magical, beautiful experience in and of itself. Alison McMacken is the director, producer, choreographer, like absolutely everything. She's nominated for Dora in a separate category for choreography for musical theater. And she just brings a bunch of beautiful people into the room. This used to be a movement-based company that sort of started to be like, oh, let's look at text. We did Our Town 2 years ago. And then it was like, we'll do Midsummer Night's Dream. And that was kind of the start. And then we just pulled beautiful images and like wanted to make it fun and funky and not your grandma's, Midsummer Night's Dream.
Well, that's your imagination and your vision and creativity is it's literally out of this world, which was great. Working for Rocky, out of this world was very advantageous. So what does it mean for your work to be recognized in a situation like this with the Doras? What is the significance of that for you?
It's pretty cool. What does it mean? I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to know that the jurors went and they saw it and they thought it was cool enough to, check the box. Mm-hmm. I'm not entirely sure exactly how that whole process works. In fact, this coming season, I was supposed to be a juror for the first time to learn how that all happened.
Well, I'll tell you, I've done the time. All I'll say is there's a lot of amazing work, and they put a lot of work into it and a lot of thought, and that's all I'm going to say. But this is a great moment to recognize also the Dora jurors. There are a lot of shows, and they volunteered a lot of time and energy and thought to make these nominations happen. And they loved you, Brandon.
Well, I love them too.
Well,
it's
listen,
good.
I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. We love you at Singular Sensation, and
it's so nice to see you.
You too. Yeah, this show is just a reason for me to see my friends. I mean,
Wow.
And what a great way for us all to gather together. So guys, show Brandon and the nominees some love in the comments. Brandon Kleiman, best of luck tonight. Cheers to you, friend.
Cheers, darling.
And we'll hopefully see you real soon. Good luck tonight.
Mwah.
Mwah. Cheers, nominees. Cheers to the Dora jurors. And speaking of jurors and people that go into what happens to make the Doras happen, best sentence I've ever said, I want to welcome one of the members of the Toronto Alliance for the Performing Arts. He is one of the people that makes the Dora Awards happen, and he's a good friend of Singular Sensation, and we are so thrilled we got to steal him away from the Doras tonight. Please welcome Mr. Scott Dermody.
Hello. Good to see you.
Look at you. You always look so great.
Got to dress the part.
You'd never know you've been working 1,000 hours a day making this.
That's just me, the whole team.
So, virtual Dora Awards. It's a little different this year.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. So, aside from not everyone needing to wear pants this year, so what are some of the ways that you have kind of retooled and are offering the Doras? Tell us a bit about what we can expect in the next hour.
For sure. Well, honestly, to do the filming as opposed to having it live offered a few different opportunities, I suppose, to perhaps see some other places and people that we wouldn't normally get a chance to see for the live show, which is kind of fun, I think. It did present a challenge for the team. Our learning curve on this one was pretty steep.
Absolutely. All the new technology you have to learn and try to adapt everything as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. So some of the things that we're trying to do to increase that engagement that you generally feel in the room when it's actually happening we're asking people to use the hashtag Dora's2020 for anything Dora related. And then if you're going to be dressing up for the occasion to watch, or if you're a nominee, hashtag Dora's 2020 outfit. Hey, there we go. Look at that.
We've had a correspondent bigging up all of them. And guys, you don't have to be a nominee.
Absolutely.
You can just be watching. And by just be watching, I mean participating and doing the thing as a community. What else do you have as a hashtag, Scott?
Well, the speeches was one of the challenges that we were thinking about, because everything's pre-recorded. All of the segments that are going to be part of the show tonight are all pre-recorded. And we didn't want to give away the game a little bit for the nominees who don't know who's going to receive the awards this evening. I know that some shows who are doing this, they've been contacting some of the recipients in advance and getting a speech from them and then posting it. But we didn't want to take away that magic of the anticipation and the waiting. So in order to facilitate that, we said, okay, all the nominees, please prepare a speech in advance. And you can pre-record it if you want, or you can just do it on the fly, but then share it on social media the night of if you happen to be the recipient. And then all of those, hopefully, are going to be posted by the recipients to another hashtag, Dora's 2020 speeches, whatever social media platform they have, either Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And you'll be able to find them all there.
So the nominees themselves will be posting their acceptance speeches.
That's right. Right. And then we, as the official team, will be retweeting and sharing as they come in. But we're not actually going to be posting any of them because they're coming directly from the nominees and the recipients.
There you go. It's kind of like Drag Race finale, you guys.
Yeah.
Everybody tapes an acceptance speech. Everyone gets to win once, and then they all have to wait until we find out the night of the broadcast. So this is the Drag Race of award shows.
See, we, pulling some things from existing content that's already out there.
Well, listen, Scott, we just so appreciate the work that you and the team that put the Doras together and Tappa do. And thank you for keeping this alive, even though the world looks a little different. It's so important that we still have these opportunities to gather and celebrate and hold on to the work that has happened and look forward and inspire to the work that will happen again. And thank you all so much, you and the team.
Totally
and
agree.
Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. That's
Thank you so very much. And as another fun little bit that I didn't get to mention a second ago, we are still doing an after party.
Yes,
so if you're watching the broadcast, we will be sharing a Zoom link during the broadcast of the show, and then in the comments of the YouTube link, and then on our website at tappa.ca. We're sharing it as late as possible to try and avoid some of the Zoom bombing and trolls that occur on some of these calls. But please be on the lookout for that, and we'd love to see as many of you as possible come out and check it out, because we're going to have a live DJ, and we have some backgrounds that you can download. It'll be a good time.
I love that. And there's a list of cocktails on the Tappa website on the Dora drop down.
Yep. And on our main page slider, we have a couple of images where you can click on the cocktail list. You can click on. We will have the after party posted there starting at about 8 p.m. because the awards are only going to take an hour tonight instead of 3.
All has been revealed, folks. Okay, so stay tuned on the broadcast to find out how you can get in on the after party, how you can see the speeches for the recipients, and what the cocktails of the evening are. Scott, cheers to you and your team. Thank you for being here tonight. And I can't wait to get to do this in person again next year.
Super.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
Congratulations.
Take care.
Bye. Cheers. Cheers rhymes with Sears, which happens to be the last name of our next guest. We just had her on our last show. We love her so much that we just can't let her go. And she tonight is nominated for a very important role. She was nominated for Outstanding Performance in a leading role, or in a featured role, for her performance in musical stage company and Obsidian Theater's presentation of Caroline or Change. This was a beautiful, beautiful moving piece of theater, and we are so thrilled to welcome this next nominee. We love her, and she looks gorgeous. You guys, please welcome Vanessa Sears. Look at you.
Hello.
Well, congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you.
And on your Toronto Theatre Critics Award as well.
Thank you.
And you gave such a beautiful, moving speech. and it was so important. And I know that playing the role of Emmy was very important to you. Can you tell us a bit about, the significance of that role and the experience doing Caroline or Change?
Oh, it's the experience that keeps on giving, honestly. At the start of rehearsals, we were, trying to find these specific news stories that grounded us in the present, because obviously the piece is set in the 60s. But, for Emmy, her big arc of the show is that she's part of this group of people, young people, who are tearing down a Confederate soldier statue. And at the time, it was like, oh, that doesn't feel like that relevant. And we were like finding sources here and there of like these places in the States where it was still a conversation. Cut to today, it's a global conversation. Everyone's talking about the Black Lives Matter movement again, which is fantastic. But yeah, it's really interesting to reflect on what my state of mind was during the show at the time that we were actually performing, and how the role has just kind of changed and shifted in my mind and my heart as time has passed and all of this has started to come up in different ways.
Absolutely. And I know that you worked with fellow nominee in leading role category, Julie Black.
Mama, Julie!
And just the relationship that you two had and developed working together. Can you tell us about that? I know that was something that's been very impactful on you.
Yeah, Julie's the best. She's the coolest woman. I already was a big fan of Julie. Actually, a bunch of my friends and I saw her perform live in PEI when she a concert there. So we'd already, I'm sure Julie doesn't remember this, but we met her and she was so kind to us. We were like these random teenagers who were like bopping along to her songs, and she was so unbelievably warm and generous and spent time with us and talked to us and encouraged us. So I already knew, I was like, she doesn't remember that, but I know this woman's incredible. And she has so many different, she's such a huge voice in so many different organizations. She supports so many different causes. She's been an activist. She's done that. She's incredible. But there's still some intimidation, right? When you're like, this is insanely incredible, awe-inspiring woman in the room. And there was just no ego, all.
No, here, there you. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna fix this. Hello.
Can I go away?
Only for a hot second, but now you're back, and that's all that matters.
Somebody's trying.
Weird. Got this. We got this. We're doing so. We've lost Vanessa. We're doing it. Okay. We are having a technical difficulty. We've got so we have a Facebook group with our nominees, and I think we're having this is technology, my friends. Okay, maybe we can get Vanessa back. Okay, we are gonna fix this, friends. All right, if we can, let's see here. Okay, so if we can get Vanessa back, I'm not sure what's happening, but okay, she will be back. She'll be back. But for the moment, we're going to check and see with our correspondent, Avery Jean.
Hello. I've just been looking at because I have to give a shout out to just Visible Queerness from part of the team at Box 4901.
Yes.
I can't find her actual name on their Instagram, but at Yeti_Eddie in this blazer here with this drink, just really giving it to us, and then the pose. Look at this! Look at this!
Love.
I love it. I love a blazer with a bold pattern. I mean, I love anything with a bold pattern, but especially a blazer over black. Just try to get a little closer look there. Can you see?
Ooh, dig.
So good. So good. I also have to say, because you were mentioning to Scott that we're being more like the RuPaul's Drag Race finale this year.
Yes.
And I really hope that also means that I'm going to get to see Louise Petrie and Jane Lewis lip sync for their lives against each other. I think that'd be brilliant.
Okay, Scott, if you're still looking, I don't know what you can do in post, but maybe that'll happen.
Maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it.
We've got Vanessa Sears back. Avery Jean, you are the best. I'm so glad you're with us tonight. I can't wait to see you guys keep posting those photos because we are loving them. Choose your name.
Okay,
we'll be back. Okay. Okay, good. We worked it out. I know. We're figuring it out. My gosh. Okay. So we were talking about Julie Black and how she influenced you as a young artist. And you know, Vanessa, like that's gonna be you to an artist one day. They're gonna walk in the room.
I don't know if I'll ever be like Julie Black status, but that's very kind of you to say.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking the comments may start to say different, but I agree for that. You were so modest and kind and generous, and you too are such a vocal activist and have just been a wealth of information and sharing and generosity. And your performance in this show was just so powerful, and everything you do is so powerful. And thank you for being such a supporter of the show and for joining us as often as like, and you're always so generous. And we want to raise a glass to you and cheers your performance and the impact that you have on this community. And is there anything else you would like to add before we let you go and enjoy your night?
I think that's it. I'm going to be watching along with you guys, so I look forward to like the people who I know are probably already they've got their keyboard ready, they're gonna live tweet, I'm sure. That's always hysterical.
Yes!
I'm just looking forward to celebrating with everyone, and congratulations to all the nominees. And of course, I think it is important to recognize that there are so many people who probably would have been nominated and didn't, because of the pandemic, didn't get to see their shows all the way through to the stage. So I'm thinking of you guys, especially, sending love to everyone in our beautiful community. I'm so proud to be a part of it. And happy Doras.
Happy Doors to you, Vanessa Sears. Thank you so much. And break legs tonight. We're cheering you on. Take care. And yes, absolutely. We want to raise a glass to the shows that did not get to see this season. But that's just this season. These shows will happen. The debuts will happen. The remounts will happen. The shows will happen. We are not going anywhere because we are theater artists and we're too damn stubborn. Speaking of theater, let's continue with our nomination celebration. Yes, I know that rhymes. I'm that good. Kidding. Okay, you guys, nominated. Our next guest is nominated for Outstanding Performance in a Featured Role for her performance in Eclipse Theater's production of Sunday in the Park with George. Yes, that's about 2 octaves lower than what it actually is. You don't want to see me try that. And the show is also nominated for Outstanding Original Choreography and Outstanding Musical Direction, and maybe another category we may be talking about a little later in the evening. And, of course, she is a member of the Canadian theater dynasty that is the Moore family. We love her so much, and she's always been so great to us. Please welcome Dame Charlotte Moore.
Hello, darling. Hello. How are you? Happy Dora.
My gosh,
I got my glad rags on.
You
got
should.
my pretty shoes.
Okay,
Very nice.
those shoes
Okay.
are gorgeous.
These are for good luck because David Beckler found these for me when we were doing side by side by Sondheim at the Grant. And I walked into the fitting room and I went, please fit, please fit, please fit. So I still have them. So they're good luck because they're from another Sondheim show. So.
I love that. Well, you gave me a pair of shoes that I felt the same way. I was like, oh, I hope they fit. Oh, I hope they fit. And they did, and I still have them.
Excellent.
You know,
Great
ladies.
show, Jenny.
So you were nominated for your role in Sunday in the Park with George. Can you tell us a bit about the experience doing that show? It is such an iconic show.
Oh yeah, and I'd never been inside it before. I'd never done the show before, so it's. I find that each Sondheim that I do becomes my favorite Sondheim once I learn the ins and outs of it. It was really great because I got to, aside from the 5 leads, there were 20 kids from Sheridan who were all my kids' classmates. So I got to hang out with my kids' classmates. That was really cool. And our director, Evan Chiches, talked a lot about tradition and legacy. Legacy was the word that he used. And so for that to be associated with this, because of course it's my grandmother, it really is, it's really touching home to me, if that makes sense.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. So it's about, the whole second act is about the only things worth leaving behind are children and art, you know? So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So tell us, what were you in the middle of when all of this madness started?
I was in between gigs. Right now I was supposed to be doing 42nd Street for Drayton, and Not gonna lie, kind of upset about not being on the beach in Grand Bend in July.
I hear that social distancing beautifully now that it's open.
Yes.
So well done, those on that beach.
Yes, exactly. I saw a clip of that today. Actually, I thought, good for you guys. That's
Wear a mask. Wear a mask.
yeah. So I was in between gigs, but the whole next year, same as everyone else, is just so. We do what we can and we muddle through. I've been sewing a lot of masks and scrub caps for the sewing army. That's been keeping me sane.
And you sent my mother and
Yes,
some pictures because you are an incredible person.
Well, every little bit helps, right?
It sure does.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you wanna make a shout out to, or anything you'd like to anyone you wanna give
Just
a
the whole gang from Sunday in the Park. It was such an incredible experience, and Eclipse Theater Company does really exciting stuff. So I'm really hoping that they can get back into it next year and do something else really cool.
Yeah, and they do some great stuff. I'm working on Evan's book, actually, his directing.
Oh, cool!
It's been one of my COVID projects.
Oh, very good.
So this isn't your first nomination.
This is my second nomination. I won 30 years ago. Exactly 30 years ago.
Well, it's about damn
for Janet in the Rocky Horror Show.
Yeah! Well, I love me some Rocky Horror.
Yes, I know you do, girlfriend.
Well, Charlotte, listen, you are the biggest ray of sunshine. You are so supportive of our show. And I'm so thrilled for you because I know how special it is for you. And I know the significance of it. And we're cheering you on. And cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friend. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, my gosh. You have an open invitation anytime.
Okay. It's a deal.
All right. Charlotte Moore, everyone. Bye-bye. We do love us some Charlotte Moore. Next Sondheim, I'm nominating her for Ladies Who Lunch for company. I'm just going to put it out there into the world because, I mean, why not? Why not? All right. So I'm going to skip the queue a little bit because there's a couple of ladies here that I'm very excited to talk to. Guys, I'm very excited. So we talked a little bit about Young People's Theater and their important work that they do. And they are always represented so well at the doors because of that meaningful work. Theater for kids is one of the greatest things I think that children can be involved in and exposed to. I feel like that's not the best way to put it, but that's where we're at. But the work that YPT does is so very important. And it is my wish and hope that they will get to continue what they've been doing. And we are so thrilled. Our next guests are both nominated for their work with YPT for The Adventures of Pinocchio for outstanding direction and outstanding original choreography. And we're so thrilled to welcome these fierce ladies to the show. Please welcome nominated director Sheila McCarthy and nominated choreographer Julie Tomeno. Ladies.
Hello.
Hi, Sheila. Nice to see you.
Are you all dressed up, Julie?
Yeah, I am. I'm dressed up. I'm in a shorts outfit with slippers and boxer shorts.
You glitter. It's good to have glitter here. I just put the jacket on.
Yeah.
It's more directory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that. I can't even imagine what being in a room with you two ladies must be like. I love the idea of it. Had you worked together before, and how was the process collaboratively? I know director, choreographer, it's such an important relationship in a piece.
Julie and I worked together at Sheridan College, and we did How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. 3 years ago, Julie?
Yeah, 2017.
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it was like an instant rapport. Julie's incredibly collaborative and really a secret weapon. I don't think I could direct a musical without her. So there you go.
And if I can just say about Sheila, she comes from a dance background, so she speaks the language so well that she allows me to do my work, and she trusts me, and then she knows how to speak the language when she's like, could we do it something a little, like, could we adjust things? And she's just so respectful and so kind, and she gets what she wants. I think, yeah, she gets what she wants by being kind, you know?
You know, I've worked with so many directors over the years, And I remember when Alan Lund, my great dance teacher from the time I was 5, who started the Charlottetown Festival, when he said my jetés were okay, they went higher. But when he criticized, I was, so I just tried to come from a place like that, because I think you get better results.
Exactly, like she leads with love.
And I've heard this of both of you, and I've seen Sheila. I saw your production of Sweet Charity at Sheridan, which was actually my 3rd year musical when I was there.
Yeah, that was. I really had not done anything. And what's great about working out there is that they're students, so they have to do what you tell them. So they don't have to, but generally, they know it's good for them. So that was a great playground for me out there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was a beautiful piece. Actually, Arinia Hermans, who was on earlier tonight, who you also worked with in Tokyo, was in that production. Great little circle, this business. Really. And Julie, you directed Hair in Art House season last year, and just the environment you created and the energy you filled that theater with as a leader and as a director, it's inspiring and it's beautiful. And the work and energy you both put into this business and that you give your actors as an experience is empowering and important. And Again, I'm so inspired by both of you, and I thank you for the work that you do. And I'm so glad you're being recognized this evening.
Thank you.
If I could just give a shout out to YPT too, because I really think if there was ever a world that we want to live in, it's YPT. Right, Julie?
From the moment we started, Alan McInnes said his first welcome speech, and I was like, I knew I was in great hands, kind hands, loving hands, respectful hands, inclusive hands. He was just the most, it comes from the top. And I felt the 4 weeks we were there, I was so happy every moment of the time I was there.
That's so important.
And grateful.
And it's just, he's so respectful of children, and it's it's a young people's theater, but it's not, it's just theater for people, and there's no sort of patronizing or any of that. It is an incredible world that he has created, and I hope he gets back to it soon.
Absolutely. I mean, anything I've seen there, I've just been in a ball of just emotional tears as someone who grew up watching theater and being taken to musicals. It's so important. And absolutely, they speak to them on their level and speak to them as human beings, not, you said, not speaking down to them as young kids. And yes, all of the love and support to YPT and the work that they do. I want to ask, before letting you both go, if you had one piece of advice or inspiration we have a lot of emerging artists and recent grads and enthusiasts that watch our show. One piece of advice or inspiration that you could share maybe with them tonight, what would it be?
I always tell students, if you can think of anything else to do, really seriously with your passion, if there's anything else you can do, then do it, because it's just too hard. And you have to be in it 150%. So if you have we all have doubts, and it goes up and down through the years, even now, but really, you got to give it 150%. So that's always my advice,
I so appreciate that honesty, Sheila. Thank you.
Well,
it's hard.
It's tough.
Right.
And I would say just everything that you do is everything you ingest, whether it be a different style of dance, a different kind of play, a different piece of art, all of it will contribute to your original voice. So just ingest as much as you can,
I love that.
Nothing is.
I don't mean to be negative. I don't mean. It's just so real. It's just so hard.
Yeah, it is. It's the reality. Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely part of the experience, is to acknowledge that it's not easy, and it requires a lot of passion that fuels the work, that makes it worth the doing and makes it worth the up and down, because it is absolutely a roller coaster, and to say it's different is just not true.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, ladies. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Good luck tonight, Julie.
Yeah, good luck to you. I'll see you in our group room.
in the group room. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
all be watching. Great. Awesome. Thank you so much for this. It was really fun.
Thank you so much. Best of luck tonight. Thank you so much, and thank you for the work you do in our community. It's so important, and we appreciate it so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Take care. Good night. Ugh, my gosh. Those are some words of wisdom, and they are not wrong. It is very true. Our next guest, I'm so excited. She is not nominated for a musical production. However, she's known to like a musical or two. And she was scheduled to be on our show before we realized tonight's the Doras. So we're obviously going to do a Dora show, but she's going to join us at a show later on this summer. She is nominated for Best Canadian or Outstanding New Play for her play Yaga that she wrote and directed with Tarragon Theatre. And currently she's working alongside the Musical Stage Company. And we are so, so thrilled to be joined on our program. Finally, we got her, you guys. We got her. Please welcome the one and only Kat Sandler.
Oh my God. This is so great. I love that you're doing this. I got all dressed up and then I realized that I haven't worn makeup in 3 months and I look like a fucking hooker. Like, not really, but like compared to my normal. And I was like in shoes and like cute pants, and then I got so hot, so now I'm back into my shorts. But you can't tell.
I think you're the prettiest fucking hooker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so
Love it. I love your glasses too.
Thanks. Well, there's a story behind these glasses. I have an eye I can't actually see out of right now because I had this like allergic reaction situation. So I'm finally not on Benadryl. I've made no sense for a week. It's been fun. It's been
and
fun.
you're drinking, so that's good that you're not mixing the two, or maybe
No,
you are.
I mean, this is non-alcoholic. So.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
this became responsible.
this too. I just put olives in like a big glass of water.
Listen, hydration, and cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers, Bella.
And your nomination.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you.
You too.
So weird not having seen people for so long.
I know. It's bonkers. It's nice. Even Colin and I ended up on a call by accident through this.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't think we've ever met, and I'm a big fan, and your shirt is really nice. And he was like, you too. Okay.
Oh my gosh, the Doras.
That was great. It was really nice.
I kind of love that happened.
Me too.
I'm sad I missed it.
Well, I mean,
what are you gonna do? So we're not, looking at each other's outfits and waiting for the food truck this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I have hot dogs waiting in the kitchen for later. But you were nominated for Yaga that you wrote and directed.
I did.
And this is not your first rodeo. This is not your first Dora nomination.
No.
But I imagine there's a different significance to it each time because it's for different work, which carries a different significance.
For sure. And this was my I'd been at Tarragon before with Mustard, and this was a really different trip just because I was a lot more integrated into the process of the show. I got to direct, I got to cast, and it was really a great experience.
Wow! And for those who didn't have a chance to see it, shame. No shame on this show. Can you tell us just a little bit about it and what the inspiration was behind it?
Yeah, it's kind of loosely inspired by this Eastern European myth of this awesome witch who lives alone in the middle of the woods in a house on chicken feet, and she grinds the bones of wicked children and eats them. And we kind of did a hot update and kind of reimagined it if she was an older sexy woman who was a professor of osteology, so still bones. And the whole thing was kind of a genre bending thriller, so like fairy tale meets CSI meets revenge play.
I love that. Ugh,
Yeah.
I mean, you always write such interesting and quick paced stuff. We know I'm a big fan of your work.
Thanks, buddy.
I love you and your shoe collection. But about the Dora focus walls. What's what? That's what we do. What have you been working on since the lockdown? I know you've been involved in a few projects, which is of no surprise. You always keep quite busy.
I am. I'm very lucky to still be busy. I'm still working on a few new plays and doing quite a bit of TV development, which is really exciting. I'm really loving kind of delving into the different kinds of storytelling and having lots of different little things to work on. I did a lot of like Zoom plays for a second there. And
you had Punch Up.
Punch Up was on there, and then we did the coalition with Factory, which was written for Zoom, and it's been really both horrifying and exciting to kind of explore the new way that a lot of us are thinking about. Is it a play if it's on Zoom, and can you write it so that it works in a different way? And is a joke still funny if I pass you something and you receive it in your frame and it's just the same prop? So that's been a really cool lesson in comedy. And then working with also Dora nominated Adam Sakayama tonight on a new musical for Musical Stage, which has been like just blowing my mind. He's so talented, and it's such a dream to be working with this company finally. And I'm really loving what we're making.
Well, and a shout out to the Mini. They have just picked up and ran with this learning curve we're all on, and
totally
things happening and redeveloping and reaching out, and that's just when you think you know what's happening, everything.
Yeah, I know.
So a huge shout out to everyone who is figuring it out as we go along. It's not an easy time to learn a new skill too. Like it's a lot.
It's a lot to do rehearsals. Like, I don't know if you've done any like Zoom rehearsals, but like they're a lot of work specifically for everyone, but for the actors in a musical. Just, I had no idea, pre-recorded, like if you have more than 2 people singing, it's really, they're just incredible. We were lucky to work with some really amazing ones.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, listen, Kat Sandler, you are fantastic, and
Me
I can't
too.
wait so we can have a glass of wine on a patio somewhere.
Me too.
It's ridiculous.
Thank you for having me on this. I think it's kind of lovely.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I look forward to having you on the show to talk about all kinds of things later in the summer.
But I would love that.
Okay, well, sending you all the love and all the broken legs, and stay cool, stay comfy, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Okay, bye, love.
Bye, Kat. Woo! Lots happening. But we're figuring it out, you guys. You guys are incredible. Okay, we're going to bring on 2 more nominees before we check in with our fashion correspondent. I made that up right now. You're welcome. Our next guests were part of the Dora nominated ensemble for Box 4901, presented by Timeshare Performance and Buddies in Bad Times, which is also nominated for Best Sound and Design Composition and Lighting in the Independent Theater category. One is a former guest. One is having a birthday today. We love them both. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, please welcome Daniel Krolik and Colin Ascension.
Hello!
Hi, you guys. Cheers. Congratulations.
Cheers. This is so great. Thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure, and happy birthday, Colin.
Happy birthday. Thank you. I feel old and wise. 32. Feeling great.
I started binging the Great Canadian Bake Off the other day.
Amazing. How are you liking it?
Oh my God, you're adorable and I miss you. I miss you both.
I miss you
so very much. So you are the ensemble of the show, and it's quite a large ensemble, are nominated for Box 4901. Can you guys speak to the significance of being part of that particular piece at Buddies in Bad Times?
For sure. Daniel, why don't you go ahead and then I'll chime in after.
Yeah. I could talk about this for an hour, but I won't. There were 13 of us nominated, plus Brian Francis, who wrote it, who was on stage with us. And like I'm an indie kid, I'm a fringe baby, and you get so accustomed to doing shows with like, if you're lucky, 2 other people or 3 other people. So the fact that we were 13 strong on that stage and that we were 13 queer voices from all ages and backgrounds and races and points of views and experiences was just insane. It was like a tidal wave. I've never felt anything like it. And I've never felt so focused on stage as I did doing that show.
Wow. That's beautiful.
It was an unbelievable experience. The cast was just so generous, so talented, so multi-talented. And yeah, I'll echo what Daniel said, to just be in a room with 13, well, 14, including Brian, queer performance artists that come from totally different walks of life was super inspiring. And telling a queer story from queer points of view, it felt really, really important and really unique. So, I mean, experience of a lifetime.
And it's kind of crazy to think about that show happening earlier this year, and then with everything going on in the world now, and we haven't been able to celebrate Pride in the same way we normally do. But I feel like this year people have really dove into the origins of and the importance of and the movement of, because we can't celebrate in the way we used to. And
Yeah.
so for that show to be one of the, sorry, Daniel, please go ahead.
No. So I am of the Jewish faith. And for our Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, which is the most holy day of the year, you fast for 25 hours. And growing up, I was always told, have an easy fast, have an easy fast. And that's what Jews wished other Jews. And a couple of years ago, that somehow changed to people telling each other to have a meaningful fast. And I think we're so accustomed to just sort of like running into people on Church Street Pride weekend and saying happy Pride, happy Pride, happy Pride. But I felt the paradigm sort of shift this year to people telling each other to have a meaningful Pride.
Yeah.
And it's very true.
Yeah. And I've been out in the city for, oh my God, going on 20 years. Don't tell anybody. But that never resonated as deeply as it did this year.
And I think also this year, we're really reconnecting with the roots of Pride, which is that Pride began as an uprising and Pride began as a protest. And, you know, with the Black Lives Matter movement really at the forefront of everyone's minds, we're really thinking about things differently. We're thinking about why we celebrate our community and the fact that we can celebrate our community in such a public way. And that is such a blessing and such a gift, and that we should never take that for granted.
Yeah. And it's also intersectionality in action. To me, the word intersectionality, which has been thrown around so often over the past couple of years, it's no longer this academic thing. Like, it's this thing that is in action every single day.
I love that. And is there anyone you want to shout out in the company, the other members of your ensemble that are nominated with you tonight?
I would say just everyone in the company. I mean, I love you all. And I want to do a specific call out to Brian Francis, who wrote the piece and was our star. And he really brought so much of himself to the piece itself and to his performance. And it was just such a generous, beautiful soul. And I'm obsessed with him. Love him. Love you all.
We closed this show on a Sunday, and the shutdown started the following Friday. So like once things started shutting down and you know, once we started getting really nervous, like, I was still such an open wound from having run this show and from having experienced this show. So the fact that we had the timing that we had was just a miracle.
I'm so glad.
We're very, very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to do the show, run the show in its entirety, to have that experience, because it was a very important piece, and it will continue to be. And I'm so grateful that you guys made the time to join us tonight, and I'm so proud of both of you, and I'm so thrilled for both of you, and thank you for being part of telling such an important story, and for your moving performances, and I wish you all the best of luck tonight, all the broken legs, and continued health and whatever semblance of happiness we can squeeze out of this thing until we get to be in the same room together.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you for having us. This is so exciting and so lovely.
My pleasure. Best of luck, you guys. We'll see you real soon.
Thank you.
Great night tonight.
Bye. Bye, Daniel.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Oh, you guys. Crazy the way some things time out. Before we go to our next nominated guest, we are going to check in with our fashion correspondent, Avery Jean. What's going on the internet? How are the fashions?
They're looking great. I also really appreciate you found a new way to pronounce my title.
Keep it fresh.
Keeping it fresh, keeping it new. I wanted to hop over to our friends like you and I, like we're in the musical theater world, but I feel like that's still closely tied to the opera world. And I wanted to jump over to there, to the general director of Tapestry Opera, Michael Hidetoshi Mori, who I think was listening to my notes earlier in this broadcast. Because one, slick back hairstyle. He really put the effort in. The suit, it's not black. The tie, it's interesting. And most importantly, no pants. It's so good. Like here's the full look. Here's the full look. It is home there.
Those are being recognized.
I love it. Look, the judges love when they feel listened to. And the other thing too, like just the fit of the suit, though, I also just have to talk about because like you also see so many guys go out in the world like kind of schlepping around in these suits that they obviously have not gotten tailored. This is a well tailored vest, well tailored jacket. The suit shorts, it's just, it's
love
so
it.
good.
Love
I love
it.
it. I love everything about it. Well
Well,
done, Michael.
listen, I'm digging it. Well done, you guys. Musical theater people, we know how to do the things. Well, theater people, this is more than just musical theater tonight.
This one's opera, so like everyone's really
listen.
showing up tonight.
Sure do. Okay, we got 2 more nominees we're going to chat at. Then you and I are going to close this mother out and head on over to the Dora Awards.
Let's do it. I'll get my hot dogs ready.
All right. Not a euphemism. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right. Our penultimate nominated guest is up for a Dora for his performance in the powerful production of Caroline or Change, in the outstanding performance by featured role. This production is also nominated for Outstanding Production, Direction, Musical Direction, Achievement in Design, Performance in a Leading Role for Miss Julie Black, and of course, Performance in a Featured Role. And we are joined by another cast member of this beautiful show, who's also part of a viral music video by our friend Billy Porter. He's not really my friend, I just pretend he is when I'm by myself. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, please welcome Mr. Stuart McKenzie. Look at you.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me, Jenny.
Thank you for joining us. It's so good to see you. Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you so much. So honored.
And when we were talking to your fellow nominee, Vanessa Sears, earlier about the importance of this experience, of this show, can you tell us a bit about your personal experience and the meaning behind being involved in this show?
Yeah, for sure. This show, as we all know, it played years ago. We won't say what year, but I got to see it back then, and it was just so moving. It kind of just sat with me. And then life went on. And then the opportunity came up to play this role. And I was so excited. And then I was so scared because there's so much weight that's involved in the show that we don't really know until we see the show. And then we realize how far we've actually been. If we've been far or if we've not been far. So like 1963, it's like we're in 2020 and the same thing's happening. So it's definitely been a roller coaster of a journey going through the whole show and living life and kind of living life through the show at the same time.
So Stuart, how are you finding a balance, finding that breath or that pause in between life and in coming off of that show?
Nature. Nature's definitely helping. Just taking the time to go outside. Luckily I have a deck so I can just like watch the stars. I've been camping, going to the cottage, just being able to relax and enjoy family and enjoy myself and enjoy my loved ones so that I'm able to come back into this world and process and take care of and entertain and also teach a lot of people of what they're starting to, become more familiar with.
And that's so important, taking that time. And I think nature's a brilliant place to recharge and exchange energy with. And I love that. And I think I'm gonna go for a walk tomorrow. So you've inspired me, and I thank you.
Yes, go walk.
So listen, before we let you go to get all settled in to watch the awards, what does it mean to be nominated for a Dora this evening for this performance?
It's funny because when the nominations happen, it kind of blindsided me because it came out of nowhere and I wasn't expecting it or didn't know what to expect. And then I was like bawling my eyes out because I felt that my work and everyone else's work that we're able to really tell theater and people were able to really see it and that we're able to create a change. And that change is kind of what has made me emotional, because with change, there's new things that are going to grow from it. So it's definitely been a wonderful experience.
Well, I'm so glad that this evening is shining a light on such moving and important performances such as yours and Vanessa's and of course Julie's. And thank you for being with us tonight. And we wish you all the best. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Dora night. And you look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. Love you. You look great too. I love the glasses.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Trying something new,
Yeah.
All right, Stuart, we will talk to you soon. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. Our final nominated guest is nominated for Outstanding Performance in a Leading Role for her moving performance as Dot in Sunday in the Park with George, which I can't sing. I don't know why I keep trying. It deserves more than that, and we're going to give you more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tess Benger. Hi, gorgeous.
Hi.
Look at you.
Can you hear me? Can you see
Yes.
me?
I see you, I hear you, and you look and sound gorgeous. How are you?
I'm good. This is strange.
Right? It makes that hot dog line like something you miss.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Everyone would be so sweaty though in the hot dog line at the Doras, but it'll be okay because we don't be together.
It's so funny. It's like, oh, I miss that now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're nominated for Sunday in the Park with George, which everyone was raving about your performance in that show. And I gotta say, this isn't related to the Doras, but Cabaret earlier as well. Oh my gosh, you are just such a brilliant, authentic performer. And I'm so thrilled that your work is being recognized tonight. And what was that process like? We talked to Charlotte earlier.
Yes.
About the experience of being in this show. Tell us about your experience in being in such an iconic piece of musical theater.
Yeah, I love this show. I got to do it at Talk is Free with Glynis and Mike Nadzinski as George and Dot, and they're just the best ever. So that's when I fell in love with it. That's when it really hooked me in. So I was really excited to play Dot. We put it up in 10 days.
Wow.
And I've said this again, and I'll say it before, like, I'm used to putting up musicals in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I just am. And there's something really exciting and special about having to run on, like, instincts. Just like, it's kind of almost like improv in that way. I mean, you get time to make at least 5 choices before you decide what you're going to do. But there's something to that. Yeah, but I mean, I knew I was playing the part for about 6 months, so I came in ready to go, and that show is so special, and I can't stop thinking about it. I've started re-listening to the soundtrack again, and it's just exquisite. It's the most beautiful show.
And I think it's such a testament to companies of actors that can put up shows in that small amount of time, because the amount of work leading up to it that you put in on your own time, as Sheila McCarthy was saying, if you aren't passionate about it, you know, and that passion fuels that preparation and that investment in that character.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. How did you, during the process, when you were either in rehearsals or during the show, how did you find a balance between enveloping yourself in that role and being Tess outside of that?
Well, because we were driving to Oakville, there was more time committed to the show because you're on the highway kind of talking, because Evan Buell and I commuted together, so we'd be talking about the show before rehearsal for an hour, after rehearsal for probably 2 hours in traffic. So I was living and breathing it. But I think, again, that's kind of good.
Yeah.
It's obviously nice to have a time to think about things between rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everything was just right with Sunday in the Park. It would have been a different show had we not been in that like incubator of creativity in that room together.
And what is the significance of having that role and your work recognized with the Dora nomination tonight?
Oh, you know, it's funny. My mom won a Dora about 5 years ago, which is my relationship with the Doras has been cheering her on. And, you know, I got nominated and she came to me and I was in the garden where I usually am gardening. She's like, "I'm so happy." And I was like, well, it's just a little more convenient than people thinking you're sad about not, you know, it's this thing where like, art is subjective. So my relationship with this whole thing is like any other artist where you're like, yeah, it's nice, but so many people don't get recognized. So it's very exciting. It's so beautiful to feel seen because I work very hard, but you know, I feel like the best part is being together and dressing up. So this whole thing's a bit, it's a bit bittersweet.
Mm-hmm.
But all that said, yeah, it's great. It's great. I could put it on my resume. I don't know. It's nice. It's Dot. Like Bernadette Peters was nominated for a Tony. I'm not nominated for a Dora. I'll just watch what that woman does and try to be 100th as amazing as.
Always the best ones are the most modest, you talented lady. You. Well, you look fantastic. You are such a ray of light.
You are. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. And I hope next time we celebrate the Doras, we are hot and sweaty in that hot dog line before talking about how great each other looks, even though we are damn sweaty and proud of it.
It is nice to be sitting beside my air conditioner, having not had to shave my legs. There's a few perks.
Yeah, we'll do that this year.
I'm probably gonna get out of this dress, put my pajamas on, and eat my dinner right now.
Right now. Well, we won't keep you from that glorious combination of things. And Tess, congratulations on your nomination. Thank you for joining us, and I hope we get to see each other in the real world soon.
That'd be great. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Well, you guys, it is that time. It is that time we wrap it up and let you go to join the virtual Dora broadcast. But first, Avery Jean Brennan.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, last words, final thoughts before we let everyone go and watch the show.
Final thoughts. I found my favorite look of the entire freaking night. She played the Blue Fairy in Pinocchio. It's Melinda Iyengar with this like gorgeous gown.
Oh.
And she's got so many photos of it on her Instagram.
Oh
I strongly encourage. It's so good. I'm gonna wait for it to focus just a little bit better because the pattern is gorgeous. She's having the time of her life in these photos. I also really want to give a shout out. She has a really important video on her YouTube channel called White Creatives, Do I Have Your Attention? And I really think it's very, very important that everyone who's watching the Doras this year, next year, last year, any freaking year, watches this video and just really has a better understanding of what needs to be done in her industry. She's done a really great service to us and provided for us in the industry so much free labor for us to learn from, and I think it's really important for us to go and watch that video.
And she stole my heart watching that, you know, as an emerging creative, and we have work to do, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, and we want her on our show.
Yes.
If you're watching, we love you, and we want you to come here and be part of our party. So
yes, and bring that dress. It's so good.
And bring the dress. And do all the posts. Like, she's just so lovely and articulate and talented and captivating. And just, yes, and we're going to post that video in our Facebook group because everybody needs to see it. And we thank her for that beautiful call to action. And listen, what a way to end the night. My gosh, thank you for going along on this fun little roller coaster with us. This has been so much fun.
Yes, let's do it again next year.
Okay, but like maybe in person on a red carpet.
Well, yeah, and I'll wear pants that time.
And yeah, I'll think about it.
Well, we'll think. Maybe not next year. I'll call Scott. Yes,
We'll
Scott,
call
I have an idea.
What's the deal this year? Are we changing anything? Anyway, Avery Jean Brennan. And what are you working on right now before we let everyone?
Oh, gosh. If you want to see what I'm working on, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Avery Jean Bean. I am hosting and producing and directing Drink Along Table Read on Bad Dog Comedy TV every second Tuesday. Tomorrow night, we'll be reading Act 1 of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, starring Clint Butler, Shannon Curry, Breton Lalama, and Julie Lumsden. It's going to be great, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube.
Excellent. And we will post that in our group. That was the best plug ever.
I've done it before.
Ever. For the practice all weekend. All right, Avery Jean Brennan, I'm going to let you go so you can tune into those awards. And I hope that you'll continue to share your thoughts and toots and boots. No boots. We're all the toots. Never did I think that would be a good thing to say on the air, but here we are. Here we are. All right, thank you so much for being part of tonight, and we'll see you real soon.
Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon, Jenny.
You betcha.
Bye.
All right, you guys, it is time. It is time for the Dora Awards. We are going to post the link, if you don't already have it, in the comments after this broadcast. It is happening. There's a Zoom after party. Get in on it. It is going to be great. And you don't have to wait in line for a drink this year. You can do it all on your own time. Pants or no, shoes or no. Congratulations to all the nominees. Thank you to all the Dora jurors, to all of the committee that organizes the awards, and all of the beautiful, beautiful artists in this community for the work you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Best of luck, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.